Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new episode of the Challenge 38. This is episode 14. Episode 14, I believe,
Yeah.
of the Challenge Ride or Die. This episode is not my favorite from the season at all. It was like a lot of stuff happening in this episode that I was like, huh? Uh, but let's get into it. So with this episode, we're coming back from the Nani Mariah elimination where Mariah went home. So we're getting back into the house and everybody's congratulating Nani. Casey's happy that Nani's back in the house. And Fessy is kind
Doesn't
of
care.
more so indifferent to
He
Mariah being
doesn't care.
gone.
He doesn't care.
He just kind
They
of like,
literally asked, they was like, Fessy, how do you feel about Mariah being gone? And he was like, we wasn't on the best terms, so peace. Essentially. That's
it's
what I
just, she's like they were kind of like, not super cool when she left. So he's not as like sad about it, I guess is the right word.
So we get this little scene. They have a day off, I guess, and
Oh
then
yeah.
they are at a beach or a campground. It was giving very much Western vibes.
Mhm.
But essentially, once again, Tori decides to talk to Anissa about her relationship with Jordan and essentially be like, am I crazy or is Jordan after me? And Anissa essentially was us at this point and was like, girl, it's all in your head. Jordan is not going to say your name.
Yeah,
He
she
doesn't.
actually thinks Jordan will say my name if given the opportunity. And Lisa was like, no, I don't think he would say your name. Like, even though y'all got problems, I still don't think he would straight up say your name. And she's like, are you sure? Type of deal. He was kind of like, yeah, tired.
Yeah. This, like I said, Anissa was us pretty much because she's like, if I know I'm tired, I know it's time for y'all to just stop it. And then she even was like, this is not the place to be doing all this to her. She's like, the challenge house is not the place to be trying to have your therapy. Cause she's basically was like, I'm worried about you essentially, and that this is not good for all the progression that you've made so far. After that, we're going straight into the challenge, and this challenge was at nighttime. It was called Takes Two to Tango. Basically, the teams have to split up in pairs, and then they would have to make their way down a narrow beam suspended over a ledge of the high-rising building that they was on episode 1 or 2. And then on the beam had a bunch of obstacles that they had to go through. And essentially, once they get to a circle, they have to rotate and then go to the other end. So once they finish or go to the finish line, they have to do it all over again backwards. And the team have 10 minutes to complete this. And the pair within the team that win or have the fastest time wins overall.
It was
And
a
that
bunch of obstacles. I thought it was only them turning around in the middle. It was other obstacles.
that's why I fit the clothes. It was supposed to be. It was
I was
just
about to say,
more
I
like
didn't see no obstacles.
it
All I saw
was
was
like
just
step
straight.
stool. It was like that little step they had to come
But
over.
yeah, just the
But
middle part, right?
I guess I guess it was supposed to be more, but like I said,
Okay, I'm
this
like, I didn't see anything else.
it wasn't given what it was supposed to give.
Yeah, it was.
Um,
I don't know. I don't know what they thought with this challenge and the
I feel
rules.
like the time rules didn't make sense. Why do so one, the teams have 10 minutes to complete this in pairs, and then you're only selecting one out of all of them instead of like the overall total of the team to
Yeah,
complete
like
it.
I was so upset. That
It,
literally makes no sense. This is a team challenge. You have split us into teams. And so if the overall team score is lower than the other team, that should be what matters. One team did good, but overall, that team had somebody who got disqualified.
yeah,
So
that's what I was like.
it was like I thought the rules were just totally bogus. And I couldn't believe that challenge. Really,
Yeah.
actually. It was or individual team challenge, which is what it should have been instead of trying to call it like an overall team thing. It was not good.
Yeah, and Chauncey ended up disqualifying because he was with Anissa and TJ again, showing favoritism. Was like, Chauncey, you're not a quitter. I think TJ gone soft, honestly. I think TJ not TJ in the way he usually
I
is.
like TJ.
He
He
would
just
have
trying to give
instantly.
Chauncey a chance. Chauncey is new on the challenge. It's your first season on the challenge. I think he just kind of wanted him to give him a chance to like to show us, the audience, and to show the team people that he gonna do this even if he's scared type of deal. So I think that's why he kept asking, like, you can do it, Chauncey, you can do it, instead of just like quitting. So I understand why he was asking Chauncey several times. I don't think he's showing favoritism. Well, he got to like he don't know Chauncey from nobody else. Like, what you
But
think he's
TJ
showing favoritism for?
usually, when somebody said they can't do it, TJ never asks twice.
He does ask twice. He'd be like,
Okay, he asks twice.
are
He
you
would be like, "Are
sure?
you doing it?" And then they be like, "No." He don't be like, "Are you sure you're not doing it?" And Chauncey kept saying no, and TJ kept asking, "Are you sure? You sure? You sure you're not doing it?" Before he finally blew that whistle. TJ in the past would have, "Are you sure?" Chauncey would have said no.
But I also
And
think they didn't want anybody to disqualify because they knew it wouldn't make sense for that whatever team, if they have somebody disqualified, that team to win. It was more obvious that there was no penalty
yeah,
once he quit. But if he didn't quit, then we could just move it along. But because he quit, the other team could be like, "What?" And us in the audience are like, "Huh?" Like, what was the point of
yeah,
a
that's
time of
honestly,
anything?
yeah, honestly, like I said, this challenge, it didn't make sense because Fessy was basically dragging KC through that obstacle or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
that ended up giving them the fastest time, and overall, their team ended up winning. And again, like we said, it was pretty much rigged because they had a whole DQ, and like it just didn't make sense. But
Yeah.
so Fessy and them, they win, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we go into interrogations like right away. So essentially all the winners, they're talking, they go into their options. Right now they kind of want Jordan. Well, it was Bananas stated that Devin was the obvious choice not to go in, so they knew he was going to be safe, and it was a toss up between Jordan and Horacio. Bananas asked Tori basically if she would say Jordan's name if he became the direct vote or whatever the case may be, and she was like, my Petty had his own, so I mean, I wouldn't mind saying his name for the way he treated me, essentially. And that was pretty much it. They do their interrogations. Tori and Jordan have this whole moment, and Jordan, yeah. Jordan was like, Tori basically asked Jordan if I was on this end. Again, I don't know what's her obsession with this, but he was like, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
he was like, I wouldn't say your name, and the fact that you're asking me this is still like mind blowing. And the reason why we're arguing now because you feel like I'm out to get you when I'm not, essentially.
Yeah, tell everybody in that room during that whole set. Because even Tori said maybe this is not the right place, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And it wasn't the right place. Like literally, we had an interrogation with like 7, 8 other people. They're like, no, they don't have no dog in this fight, so they just sitting there quiet and letting y'all scream at each other. And I was like, Tori, every week we do not need this. Not every week. Because I like Tori, I like Jordan, but I do not. After this, literally, I don't want to see them on a challenge together.
Yeah. And basically, they was like, at this point, if we can't work together, then we don't need to be working at all. And that's kind of where they left that conversation, as it is what it is type of thing. So after the interrogations, again, because they need the second half to happen, we go straight into the elimination, and basically we see a container in the middle of the floor. So we all know that this elimination is balls in. We get a little montage because it's a challenge staple. So basically, Anissa votes for Horacio, Fessy votes for Jordan, Olivia votes for Devin, Chauncey votes for Jordan, and then Casey votes for Horacio because she said it makes sense. But okay. And then Tori's finally was like, you know what? I'm gonna vote for Horacio and not Jordan. And then Bananas for the final vote voted for Horacio. So Horacio is the direct vote. They have to pull the daggers, Jordan and Devin, and just like the elimination before, Devin immediately pulls the safe with no sweat, no nothing. He knew
I
that he
mean,
had.
I don't think he knew, but at this point, whoever go first has the best odds. There's only two people pulling. So I don't think he knew. I don't think in this instance there is no conspiracy to me because it's only two daggers. One of them is right. So whoever go first, I am in the better position than the person to go second. So if we want to do conspiracies, it would be a conspiracy about Devin being first and not Jordan. Like in that instance, but it's only two daggers, and last week it was right in front of him. This week it's right here, so makes sense to me.
So Jordan and Horacio are going face to face, and honestly, I mean, it was some good moments, but this elimination was a little underwhelming.
Well, I
At
was just
least to me.
thrown off from the whole the challenge, so I was kind of
Yeah, it was pretty much. I mean, Horacio had some good footwork. He was able to give Jordan the 1-2 juke and took him by surprise. But it was literally back and forth, and then Jordan had a dead ball, so it was literally like I don't know. It was just anticlimactic. This whole episode, to sum it up, was just anticlimactic.
I'll mention that later as well. But with the elimination, they were pretty much like it wasn't like
Yeah,
it wasn't like a what's it called, like a
like Kenny
blowout.
and a Jordan,
Yeah,
or
it
like
wasn't.
the
Yeah, it wasn't a
uh,
blowout. They both were like somebody got one, another person got one, two.
yeah.
Then Horacio got two, and so
So I'm
yeah.
pretty sure if Jordan didn't get that dead ball, he would have been the winner. Jordan is the loser. TJ lets Horacio know that he is part of the Challenge Win Club now. Rookie breaking records. He is now tied for most elimination wins in a season with I think it was Wes and Casey, and then Sarah.
It wasn't Casey.
It was Wes and I forget. I think Casey with the C from the Ruins.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking you mean in this case. I'm like, this case
No.
hasn't even seen 5 eliminations.
So TJ lets them know, which again, I don't even know why they did this. Even with editing, it just didn't make sense. TJ lets them know that I can pop up anytime, anywhere, any place, and you'll never expect it. So next time you see me, just be prepared or whatever the case may be. And literally the next scene, we see TJ coming into the house.
Yeah.
Like they could have did another club scene. They could have broken up a little bit.
Yeah, I was ready to turn the episode off, and then I looked and I was like, oh man, it's like 15, 20 more minutes left.
TJ comes to the house. He hops up on the pool table, lets Johnny know that this is his house, and then he tells everybody to pack up and suit up because the fun and games are not over. And then we are back at the zone or whatever, and then I found this funny because TJ was like, basically, he was like, we started this game as partners, ride or dies. He was like, some people turn their backs on their partners. Cameras instantly go to Fessy. Fessy look away. Talking about me. And then he was like, now it's time to get back into those pairs. So he breaks the teams up and put everybody back into their ride or die pairs. And of course, Aneesa, Fessy, and Casey don't have partners, so they don't know what's going on. TJ lets them know that essentially they're out of the game, and that because they don't have a ride or dies, yeah, it's over for them.
So I thought this like build up that they've been doing all season. I mean, not build up for us because we saw it, but what was happening about the partners possibly coming back, I thought to do it this way was really anticlimactic because like literally, I don't know. I thought it was a bit like I remember I told you I thought they were doing at the final, like everybody think they're gonna run the final by
it was too soon for them to come back because literally they didn't have like I don't want to say it's an episode thing.
I think they squandered it. I think they squandered the reveal to do it right here.
They should have waited at least 2 more eliminations. Get that bigger team down. That way, we're not going into the final.
I think that's probably why they did it, because the other team has like lost too many
Yeah,
times.
all the
So they're like, we can't do it no more. They don't have no more people type of deal. So that's probably why they did it right here. But
I think they learned from Double Agents when they was having 3 and 2-man teams versus a
should have
whole
did another
8-player
mix up.
team.
They should have did
Yeah,
mix up like another mixing, like split the team again. But
yeah.
this way was really a wasted opportunity, I think, because I was like, oh, they doing this. They doing this now.
So TJ actually lets them know the big reveal of that their partners are still in the game. So he brings on Mariah, Kenny, and Jordan, who he basically lets know that essentially only two teams are coming back and one team is going to be eliminated, but the only way to know who's going to stay and who's going to go is through another elimination.
Well, wait, but the way he said it was, maybe, so he said, so we're gonna do this, play this challenge or whatever. Whoever wins is back in the game. The other two might be given another chance. And I was like, why? Why another chance? Let's do it. The other two are eliminated, and let's keep it moving. Why does it have to be another chance?
It was called Don't Let Me Down. So all 3 pairs have to push up a heavy barrel up a steep ramp, and then they have to cross this line, and then whoever can hold the barrel over the line for a minute wins. So basically, whoever just holds it for a minute wins. They could do it at any point. So it was basically a flexible scale because if they cross the line, then their time starts over, essentially.
Yeah,
So
and the only thing about this is that soon as it started, and once Mariah and Fessy got over the line, the editing kept trying to make it seem like it
like
was
they was gonna fall.
like it was a chance. But once, if we don't see them fall, we know that they're winning.
Yeah, like they didn't struggle at all.
Yeah,
Once they
because
was up there, they was up there. Like they showed their feet inching down, but it was like, come on now.
yeah,
Jordan
because
and Lisa started 2 times over by then. And then
yeah,
Casey and Kenny didn't even.
yeah.
If I was them, I would just been like, all right, y'all got it, cause
Yeah, because there's no option for you if the other person don't fall. If you get up there after them, you can't do anything because their time will reach the minute before your time reaches the minute. But the editing kept trying to jump to Casey and Kenny, and I'm like, they've been struggling for more than a minute. So like, I mean, for at least a minute, coming up on a minute. So like, let's call like. I don't need the editing tricks because it's not working.
Kenny and Casey had a problem getting the stability because they was basically tracking up a bunch of sand. I don't know what they was doing wrong, but even like Jordan and Nisa, when they were going up their steep, they kicked off their sand as much as they can. But Casey and Kenny had nothing but sand all
I think
over
they were
them.
just like, yeah, they weren't wiping off the, not wiping, but like kind of smoothing off all the sand on their ramp because
Yeah.
they weren't able to get any traction on the ramp.
And Nani made this shady comment, and I was just like, Nani, where? Like,
Who
she
said
was
what?
basically, she was like, Casey is doing good. However, Kenny is.
Oh yeah, she did say that.
She's like, he's not getting a good footing or whatever the case may be. And I was like, Casey is struggling too. Like, she is not. Like,
Yeah,
don't just blame Kenny. Also, Kenny got a confessional. I was like, okay, because I definitely thought they was just gonna bring him back in.
not let him say
Treatment.
yeah. Yeah,
So
I agree. I thought I clocked that too. I was like, okay, they are both struggling in this, but you
and
stand by
then
your person.
also everybody made this mention that Nani is back to her old glory days, but in the same token, Nani is talking about if Casey leaves, I don't know if I can play this game. So are you doing this for Casey? Are you doing this for Casey, or are you doing this for your mother? Because last time I checked, your mother was the reason that you're trying to win and everything, not Casey. Like, I get that Casey's important to you, but baby girl, come on now.
But yeah, so not Chauncey,
Amber
Fessy and
Mariah
Mariah win, so they are back in the game as partners, and so now Jordan and Anissa and Casey and Kenny have to do one more elimination to decide who is the second pair that will be back. But that's how the episode leaves us before they do this last elimination.
And Anissa and Jordan winning that elimination, so Casey and Kenny, bye-bye.
Yeah, I will agree. I will agree. Overall, this episode was horrible.
I give it a 4.5.
Oh goodness. Um, yeah, about the same 5. Those are our thoughts and our review on this episode of the Challenge 38 Ride or Dies. So please like and subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below, and turn on post notifications, and we will see you on our next video. Peace.